Chapter 3. Shadows over Ceela. 551 BBY. The volcanic winds howled across Vernost's scorched plains as the seasons bled from ashfall into heat. But time had ceased to pass in seasons for Kaden. Under Darth Gean's exacting eye, his days were no longer measured in light or rest, only in thresholds crossed and power seized. A full year had passed since his induction, though he scarcely recognized the man he'd been in the Ceela fields. That version of himself had worked with calloused hands and earned respect through labor. Now he reached into the fabric of the Force, sensing how it twisted through stone and root and blood. Gean had wasted no time. She drilled into him a curriculum that blurred the line between alchemy and instinct. She taught him to move not just through the Force, but to move it. He could coax a storm into changing direction. He could feel the pulse of Ceela before it surfaced. He could rip heat from stone and place it in the palm of his hand. But beneath these triumphs, something darker simmered. The Ceela was their shared obsession, a resource that seemed to possess properties not fully understood even by the Sith archives. Under Darth Gean's guidance, Kaden began experimenting with the substance, accelerating its growth cycle, infusing it with fragments of dark energy, and even applying it directly to injured tissue in ways that should not have been possible. They discovered together that Ceela, when combined with certain meditative trances, could amplify the connection between mind and Force. Wounds closed in minutes. Cells regenerated with unnatural speed. But power always bore a cost. Kaden began to crave the moments of clarity the Ceela offered, the way it heightened not only healing, but emotion. Enger borne hora. Ambition sharpened. Meditation was more vivid, battle more exhilarating, and though he tried to hide it, Gean noticed. She had seen it before, that same edge in her former master's eyes, before he descended into dogma and delusion. The substance was not overtly addictive in the traditional sense, but in the hands of a Force sensitive, its effects bordered on spiritual intoxication. Ceela whispered of greatness and tempted madness. One evening, in the lower vaults beneath her estate, a chamber sealed by obsidian stone and carved with runes of suppression, she poured a vial of Ceela into a shallow basin and watched its luminescent surface ripple. Kaden stood beside her, eyes bright, breath measured, eager for the next lesson.
You must learn to master it,
she said, voice low.
not merely wield it.
He looked at her, confused. I do control it,
No,
she said coldly.
you channel it. You manipulate it. But Ceela is more than a tool. It is a mirror. It will show you what you already are, and then it will amplify it. If you are disciplined, it becomes clarity. If you are not,
She trailed off, dipping a gloved finger into the glowing liquid. For a moment, The cybernetic plating hummed, absorbing a flicker of light.
It becomes compulsion.
He nodded, but she felt the hunger inside him stir, not out of defiance, but yearning. The very quality that made him worthy of apprenticeship was the same that could destroy him. Unrelenting desire. And yet, she did not scold him. She nurtured that flame. The rule of two demanded it. At night, she would sometimes rise from meditation and stand before her hidden chamber, the one where the remaining relics of Darth Gravid's madness were locked away. Tomes scorched but preserved. Holocrons fractured but still whispering. And always, the Ceela pool, glowing, waiting, as if it too remembered the hands that tried to destroy the Sith legacy, and the hands that struck those traitorous hands down. She had never told Kaden about the night she killed her master. But sometimes, when the air was too still, and the boy's footsteps echoed just a little too close to that chamber, she wondered if history would circle back around. Would he learn? Would he ascend? Or would she one day stand in that same chamber, facing the blade she had forged? For now, she taught. He learned. The Ceela pulsed. The shadows lengthened. And the Sith, in secret, endured.